Yeah. That was a good conversation. So have you traveled internationally much before?
I mean, I've traveled to Brazil
Brazil.
10 times, but you know, South America.
Your wife's.
Yeah. I mean, we have properties there, so we go and just have a good time.
Yeah.
See our family. I mean, like I've done South America fairly extensively. You know, Panama, Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Like that. Colombia, Brazil, Argentina. That's it.
Okay.
Haven't gone to Europe yet.
No.
Something that was in the plans, but we had children, and now that's complicated.
Okay.
A 3 and a 5-year-old.
Okay, I was about to ask you how old they're. That's it's tough to take them on a trip at that
God,
point. Yeah.
The flight to Brazil is a nightmare. Absolutely no complications.
What's your usual routing from here to? Because I'm guessing there's not a direct flight.
Miami or Houston.
Miami or Houston. Okay. Yeah.
Direct flight
Yeah.
to Rio.
Is the New Orleans airport it is an international airport? I'm guessing.
Yes.
It just isn't.
It doesn't have any direct flights to Rio yet.
Yeah.
They're talking about it.
Oh, okay.
They're actually building a new airport as we speak.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
So that's the name of it. It's Louis Armstrong International Airport, like that musician that you're doing.
Oh. Wait, that's the old one or the new one?
It's gonna be. I think they're gonna keep the same name.
Okay, yeah. And if you did go to Europe, where do you think you'd go?
When we originally planned the trip before we found out my wife was pregnant, we were thinking maybe a Italy, Greece.
Yeah.
Kind of trip somewhere in that region.
Get those Southern European places,
Yeah.
the hot ones. Yeah. When I did Europe, I did like all but Croatia's kind of southern, but I did Ireland, Wales, England, Scotland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. So I was going all around up north.
Right.
Because I'm Canadian and I'm like, ooh, gotta get that.
My wife
cool.
lived in England for a year, but they
Oh, really?
traveled all of Europe. When
Yeah.
her parents were doing their PhDs, they did like an exchange program.
Yeah.
They drove throughout the country. We drove the continent.
Yeah.
Made all those trips. And she wants to go back, and I want to go for the first time for sure.
And what about Asia? Any interest there?
We have some friends from his wife is from Sri Lanka, so if we go,
Oh, yeah.
we're kind of like locked into that area.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna go. You say that, then
Yeah.
you really do go. You can't just. Oh, we're gonna go to Asia, but not that country. I think we're lucky if we do go to Asia. We're locked into Sri Lanka.
Well, but once you're in Asia, you can hop around pretty cheaply and check out you can check out your friend's place or wherever it is, and then hop around a little bit.
Work's so tough with vacation.
I guess that's true.
It's not that I don't have the vacation, because I have the time. It's just the ability to leave and someone's covering for you basically.
Yeah.
So it's very burdensome on them.
And then with the kids, that flight to Asia would be even worse.
Right. The least amount of travel for a trip, the better.
Yeah.
Once you get them out of their routine and their naps and all that crap, man, it's just
So I'm guessing because you'd have to route to a major international airport, and then your major flight across the Pacific is probably 10 to 12 hours.
Right. I'm guessing a minimum.
Yeah.
Where our Brazil flight's about 8 hours straight from Miami.
Yeah.
And it's like shooting in the head. These kids, like, pretty much you want to drug them before you want to do it.
How old do you think I am, out of curiosity?
24?
Yeah, that's a really good guess. Yeah, I'm 23. I've heard a wide range. Some people are like, you look like you're 17, all the way up to one of my rides in Nebraska. He's like, you look like you're 35. I'm like, I don't think I look like 35.
Part of my career is being able to
That's true.
correctly identify people's age, height,
Yeah.
and weight. So. I also factored in your extensive travel. You know, so
That's
like,
true.
you're not 17.
Yeah. I've been hitchhiking for 4 years. I'm 17. I started at 13. Had an interesting teenage life. Yeah, I started hitchhiking at 19, and now I'm 23. I've been doing it for 4 years. Like,
What do
not
your parents
straight.
think about the situation?
My mom hated it at first.
It goes back to the safety issues. And
Yeah, my mom would worry about me no matter what I'm doing, but I'm doing like the traditional thing that your mom doesn't want you to do.
Right.
Like when you think about
Try
things
to give
that
your mom a heart attack.
yeah. It's like hitchhiking, riding motorcycles, skydiving, the type of things that your mom just like doesn't want you to do.
I'm gonna hitchhike on a plane.
And I have a invite from those people that first taught me how to hitchhike on airplanes to go back there and go skydiving with them. So
Why not?
yeah, let's go jump out of perfectly good airplanes.
It's crazy. I have a slight fear of heights, but I've bungee jumped and I don't think I would have a problem with skydiving.
Yeah.
It's just whenever I'm on like a rickety ass.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No.
we went to Brazil and they had like this like basically their version of the Seattle Space Needle.
Yeah.
And I get up there and there's like rusted out holes in the floor and everything. I'm like, get me out of here. Right. Like clinging to the elevator.
No, I'm the same. Like I don't have a problem with flying. I don't have a problem with I don't think I have a problem with bungee jumping, skydiving. But yeah, you put yourself close to like a sheer cliff edge.
Yeah,
and, like,
right,
The
exactly.
palms get sweaty.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you know, people do
Yeah.
fall and die from these things.
Yeah.
I was actually watching a video like a week ago. The guy who like he would climb in Japan. He would climb all the skyscrapers and and take selfies.
Yeah.
And he fell. It's hard to watch.
Oh yeah.
We're kind of doing a similar situation like you, except he would climb to the top of these tall buildings and live stream his own death.
Whoa. Whoa.
How long is your average trip? You know, just trying to check. You try and take it in chunks.
It depends. Like my longest one has been 8 months, but I'll take like a couple week trips here and there. Like last winter, I took 2 weeks to hitchhike to the Canadian Arctic for fun, just to.
So if I said I was going to Florida for say, you'd say, nah, just drop me off in New Orleans, or you taking it the whole way?
On this trip, because I do want to check out New Orleans, I'd probably get out in New Orleans. On a normal trip, if I'm just trying to get somewhere, I'm just trying to get somewhere. So the longer the ride, the better. In my, if I'm just trying to get somewhere. But the funnest days of hitchhiking for me are when you're like in and out of cars, meeting new people, you get short rides.
Right.
So like if I'm on, like where I started this trip was down Highway 101 on the west coast, and it's not like the interstate where you've got like just huge spread open highways where people are going a really long ways. It's like 30 miles between towns.
Right.
So quite often you're 30 mile, 30 mile, 30 mile, 30 mile, 30 mile.
Right.
Like all day you're hopping out of cars, which is a lot of fun to me.
Right.
You're meeting new people.
Yeah, I
The
get
rides
that.
come quick because it's small town kind of mentality. And that, to me, that's the funnest day of hitchhiking. Like the most I've had in one day is 12 rides in a day. Like you're just like in and out of cars all day.
Right. I met an Uber driver the other day, and he obviously did not need to be an Uber driver at all.
Yeah.
He just liked it. He enjoyed meeting different people in New Orleans, and
Yeah.
like, he picked me up from work, and it was late at night. He's like, "Hey man, so I'm down for a beer. Are you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, I'm swing by this little place." And,
That's
I'm like,
really
"All
cool."
right, cool.
Making friends, driving Uber.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all he was doing, just socializing.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
Yeah, and same thing with hitchhiking. It's a very social way of traveling. I like the meeting new people aspect, so I do have a lot of connections all around the world now. Before I started traveling, I didn't know anyone anywhere. Just in British Columbia, Canada, pretty much. That's where all my friends and family are. But now I've got
Now you know someone in New Orleans.
There you go. Connections all over the place. I like the dense kind of forests that border the highway here. It looks nice.
All that talking I did, which I forgot to gas.
Are we gonna make it to the next place?
Sure hope so.
Otherwise, we're both hitchhiking.
If not, like you said, both hitchhiking.
All right. Well, we might both be hitchhiking if we run out of gas. All right. Usually, the low fuel thing, like they'll be like, you have 0 miles left, when really they give you like an extra 30 miles there.
Right.
Just
Oh yeah, it's 1 gallon. That's the factory.
and that's in that view, what, around,
So
you
you're
get
talking
30
plus miles.
Yeah. But the traditional thing, like, if I ask people if they've ever hitchhiked before, usually it's no, and I'm like, even if you like ran out of gas, in the middle of nowhere. But now with like cell networks, it's pretty much like.
I have services like through my phone and through my auto insurance.
Yeah.
They'll bring me a couple gallons of gas inside the road for free. So.
Yeah. So like I just didn't have like even 20 years ago, cellular networks weren't developed enough. Where if you're here, like there's no way to contact anyone. Can't call anyone, but here connection's just fine. At least on Verizon it is, which is what I run through. Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go and say I lied because I have hitchhiked before, and it was for that reason. And I just remembered. I was with my brother.
Yeah.
And he had a brand new truck.
Yeah.
And we were on that bridge, that long ass bridge.
Oh, really?
And oh crap, it's like a inconvenient bit. So some kind of way the gas gauge had broke where it said full, but it was not. He had the truck long, so he didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I think we will start fuel here, but might be U-turn. Let's see.
Got 8 miles to the next town. It's down here.
Is that what it said?
Yeah. So,
That's not right. That's it. I put fuel, put an hour and 29 minutes.
We got 1 gallon. Can that make us hour 29? Has to be a pretty fuel efficient new car you got here. So it's backtracking us west on I-10.
Oh, shit on me. Yeah, it's not the intention either. Oh man, what did you make me do?
I've distracted him, and now we're.
Oh goodness.
Alright. Let me pull up.
Okay, let's get some fuel here. Alright. That looked too convenient. I'm like, what? Let's get right back on the interstate now.
Let's see.
Stations nearby.
We can do that.
next one. I don't think we can turn around before there anyway.
Okay. Well, sorry for distracting you with conversation.
No,
It's all my fault.
idiot. That dumbass doesn't even notice it's getting low on fuel and then turns around and then like you get off and get on. That's the general way the interstate system works.
Yeah. But nope,
apparently you can go
not
back
this
the
one
other
here.
direction
Yeah.
by going right.
Yep. And we're on vapors almost,
It's like
guys.
in Louisiana when it's 8 freaking miles to the nearest gas station.
Well, it's like between towns. It's this. Yeah.
Put a gas station there, people.
We want a gas station every mile.
It could be the only spot.
I know, guys, we're going back the way we came. We do realize that. We're just getting the closest gas because things are low.
Going the wrong way.
We just talked about this. We know it.
It's like pressing rewind.
There it is.
I didn't think about that, but that's another aspect of your little project here is people can pretty much see the country.
Yeah, it's like a U.S. like guided tour for them as well. Like you're like with hitchhiking, I'm getting a guided tour myself, but through that medium, they're also getting a little guided tour.
Same thing. They get the same experience.
Yeah.
Also free.
In ultra standard definition, 360p. Because the network isn't developed enough to run an HD stream in the middle of nowhere, but it is, for the most part, developed enough to run a standard definition stream. Welcome to Hitch Live, where we're in standard definition. Here we go. We got lodging, that's not what we want. Food, that's not what we want either. Gas left. Wait, 2 miles, 1 mile to the right. Either way works. Or 0.11 mile. Oh, there it is.
Like that .1.
We made it.
Thanks for the drink. You want anything?
I got water here. It's good. Thanks. We made it. Let's drink some H2O. Get that hydration going. Yeah, we didn't run out of gas. We made it. The conversation was just so much that we both didn't realize that the fuel was running low. No piss? Yeah. I forgot to capture my urine this morning. That's some good H2O. Perfectly room temperature / warm. We gonna eat some crawfish today? I'd like to. I'd like to. If you considered contacting Gunrun, seeing if you could test one of his backpacks, it's usually better signal. I could look at that. Batteries would become even more of an issue because according to his website, he uses a 50,000 milliamp hour battery, which runs his rig for about 8 hours. I use a few 20,000 milliamp hour batteries, and those few 20,000 milliamp hour batteries keep me going for about. I need to open this door. It's toasty. Get that airflow. Runs me about for 3 days. So if I wanted to run for 3 days, I'd need at least 3 50,000 milliamp hour batteries, and those things are not light, and they're not small. Mic antenna interference. I apologize. Hopefully that I moved stuff away from me. Did you steal a car? Yes, I stole it from the passenger seat. I'm actually driving away as we speak. So I'd love to try it out. You'd also need, like, the recommended thing is...
Remember this goofy ass car? It's my first time tanking it up.
It's on the other side?
On the side. I said pump one, so...
Whoa, it fell. Stay. No, come on, thing. No, thing. Jetpack, stay. Okay, how about up there? Will you stay up there? Oh, right now you'll stay, okay, alright. Calm down. Must be a Ford. No, it's not, it's a GMC. Yeah, the fuel icon does have a little arrow pointing on which side. But it's like, if you're used to your vehicle being one way, you don't check it that. You just pull up to one side and you're like, oh, whoops. My battery, well, I have multiple batteries. I have like 6 batteries, and that lasts me about 3 days. This is day 2 without a recharge, so that should be good for today and tomorrow if I don't get an overnight recharge tonight, but we'll see how things go today. If I am doing a full New Orleans stream, New Orleans not going to be good for camping. I might have to just pay for accommodation, which I don't like doing. I try to keep this as authentic, hitchhiking, low budget as I can. But if I'm in a place like New Orleans, people have really told me that I shouldn't be out camping in New Orleans. So the cops finally caught you yesterday? Yeah, the nicest cops in the world. They caught me, brought me into the back of the police car. Nicest guy. You stay in New Orleans? Yes, get a room? Yeah. So you got a ride? Yeah, we got a ride. All the way to New Orleans. But yeah, I'd like to try that gun run backpack thing just to see. But the place is... and the other problem, like, aside from batteries, is if I get into some really, like, out there places, what the gun run backpack does with the live use system is it ties together multiple networks. So you need to have those multiple networks. So, like, they recommend 2 Verizons and 2 AT&T plans. But if both Verizon and AT&T don't have service out there, then you're tying together 4 connections that have no signal, and you still have nothing.
That guy's obviously European. He's like, what the hell is wrong with this thing? It had a bag on the pump.
Oh, he's trying to use the one with the bag on it.
Yeah, he'll be like, it's out of gas, man.
If the fuel pump is covered, probably means you can't use it.
Not that a clue. Let's see if we can get going in the right direction. You ever took a nap and woke up in the wrong location?
Have I ever taken a nap and woke up in the wrong location?
There was like, yeah, like someone picked you up and like you go to sleep and then they ended up getting lost or something.
Oh. I was like, no, it hasn't happened. Although I really don't sleep well in vehicles, so like.
It takes a lot of trust also to go to sleep.
That's true. Like I've driven for 3 days straight with like one ride, and like at that point we're taking turns driving.
That's awesome.
Like that was like 3,400 kilometers. So it was.
Where'd y'all go?
That's from like near the capital of Canada, Ottawa, to Lake Louise, Alberta, which is right by the Alberta-BC border. So like across most of Canada, which is a very large country. On the road again with gas in the vehicle. That is a bonus. Oh, there goes my. This is my antenna, by the way. Helps increase the signal that I receive. But doesn't like staying. Alright, we're back in the right direction now. Like, what would you say is the most unique or weird experience you've had in law enforcement? Maybe, I know that's probably, again, a very broad question.
Yeah.
Or like just something notable.
There's a lot of notable.
I bet. Working in New Orleans, probably a few things have happened.
I think the one that caught me off guard the most, as far as for just the raw emotion, was the lady who she had left her kid with the husband to watch the kid.
Yeah.
And they were separated and divorced. Mm-hmm. And of course he made a poor decision and went to like a barbecue or something and left the kid with the grandma.
Yeah.
And then the kid got severely injured and ended up not making it. And the mother's just her hatred towards that individual, I've never
just raw emotion and hatred and
yeah, how could you let this happen to my kid? Something I wasn't prepared for. I mean, we've had tons of experience. We get gunshots every 3 hours.
Yeah.
Someone gets murdered. But things like that. Or I had a husband who his wife had given birth and she died during delivery.
Yeah.
And he just assumed that the child had made it. So everyone's consoling him and explaining, and then. When he looked me right in the face and said, okay, so where's my baby? And I'm like, oh my God, they didn't tell this man that the baby didn't make it either.
Wow.
It's emotions like that it's hard.
Yeah. Like in that field, you see people at the worst moments.
You can't help but picture yourself. What would I do in this type of situation?
Yeah.
If my wife was giving birth to my second child and she didn't make it, the baby didn't make it, and how your world just come crashing down.
Exactly.
That easy.
Yeah. So that's crazy. Alright. How about the most wholesome experience as a police officer? Let's look this up.
I mean, easily for me, the most wholesome experience was post-Hurricane Rita. I was able to do a lot of recovery work.
Yeah.
And help people when they were just absolutely had nothing. I did post-Katrina work, but it wasn't the same for me because it wasn't my hometown.
Oh, okay.
And being able to help the people that you grew up your whole life with, and when they were absolutely the most vulnerable and have nothing, and they truly need help,
mm-hmm.
And you're able to provide even small things.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Just get ice and water and, let these people rebuild their lives. It's really fulfilling.
Yeah. mountains can be pretty awesome sometimes. And with hitchhiking, I see that as well too. Like,
It was cool.
like when it's hotter, if someone pulls over and go out and see like an ice cold cup of water or something like that, like that lifts your spirits up a ton. Or when I was in the Canadian Arctic, I waited 8.5 hours in the winter in the snow waiting for a ride. And twice in that day, people were like, I'm not going the way you're headed, but here's a cup of coffee and some pastries and stuff like that to keep you going.
Right.
Like, people they can be horrible, but they can also be amazing.
Right, exactly. You see humanity at its best, and you see humanity at its worst.
Yeah.
Things that make you question, everything, and also things that make you really appreciate everything.
Yeah. Was there anything in particular that made you switch from law enforcement to private industry?
No, other than not getting shot at, which is always a plus.
That would be a plus. Actually, I have a story after you finish that.
But yeah, that was the biggest. Like kids, family, starting over. I knew how difficult it was when I first started law enforcement to learn the area that I worked.
Yeah.
It's really not fun to go on calls and not know where you guys are going and street addresses. And it's rural and no one's got shit posted where they live and trying to get to these people or these calls. That part was frustrating. And when you switch jurisdictions in law enforcement, you pretty much start over.
Yeah.
You're not going to be it makes sense, and it goes back to that same aspect of not knowing how can you supervise people when you don't even know where the hell you're going.
Yeah.
So with that said, I didn't want to start over in either one of those aspects.
Yeah.
So I went private. I went back to school and got my degree.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
order to do emergency management and private security.
Yeah. All right. But, yeah, it just reminded me back in Arkansas, southern Arkansas, right by the Louisiana border, on my way to Shreveport. These people drove me to next to this river place. So, it's a place to camp for the night. People camp there all the time. It's not a problem. You're allowed to camp there. And I was setting up my camp there on stream, and this anonymous car pulled up to the end of that drive, up to the river bank kind of thing. And I didn't know what they were up to. It was nighttime already, so I turned off my light and kind of just sat there, watched them. Was curious what they were doing there, but I didn't want to give away my location. I don't know who they are. So I was sitting there for a bit, and all of a sudden, bang! Gunshot. I'm like, holy shit. So I was 99% sure that they just didn't know I was there. So I turned the light on, called out, and I'm like, yo, there's a person in. And I went up there, and yeah, the guy had just bought a new gun and was most likely illegally, but was shooting off a few rounds at a sign, just making sure it worked. So he was testing out his pistol. So I walked over there, introduced myself. I'm like, what's going on, man? How's it going?
I think I would have kept my light off.
You think you would have? Yeah, I wasn't. He was a decent guy once I got to talk to him. But as I kind of
just committed a homicide, you were probably next. Just an FYI.
But he was shooting at nothing,
Right.
So I didn't even. I was quite confident he wasn't shooting at me. And if you just committed a homicide, you're not going to go do some little desk pops at the river.
Right.
So I made it known that I was there because my two options were either. Well, it turned out I was directly behind the sign he was shooting at, behind it.
You need to get the hell out of here.
So my options were either immediately let it be known after the first shot, or run away.
Yeah, right.
But
You
he
have holes in your tent.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know my sensitive, but I could have some holes in me as I run away, and he's shooting off 8 rounds, however many he has in his magazine or whatever. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. And I showed the stream the next day, where I was staying at my tent, where he was standing, the sign he was shooting at, and the bullet holes in the sign. I'm like, and right behind that sign, that's where my tent was.
So I was telling you the story about I actually did have a hitchhiking experience.
Oh, yeah.
I just totally forgot about it.
Oh yeah, we got distracted by was it the fuel?
Yeah, I was getting stranded on the side of the road. So my brother's in this truck, and he didn't realize that the gas gauge was broken.
Yeah.
So on that bridge, we run out of gas.
Yeah.
Which is a nightmare situation.
Yes, that would be.
On the side of the road with that thing,
Yeah.
So he's pulled over. So we were probably about 4 or 5 miles to the end.
Yeah.
So significantly past halfway, but still a ways. And we're like, fuck it, we're gonna have to walk it, you know, and maybe we get a ride, you know, possibly.
Yeah.
But so this car passes and pulls over. It's two hot chicks, and we're like, okay, this doesn't seem right, you know. They're like, get in, we're gonna take it. We're like, well, okay, cool, you know. So we jump in, and they're like, don't worry, we're gonna take it because you have to go off the bridge,
Yeah.
get to the gas station, and you would have to go 60
All the way
miles
across
the
other way,
you know?
and then turn around and
like,
think, yeah.
we're gonna take y'all, and they were just like super friendly.
Wow.
And you know, real bubbly, and we're like, this is not how this is supposed to be at all. So yeah, it was a good experience.
No, that's a good first experience with hitchhiking.
It was my first and only.
Did you guys actually have your thumb out, or they just pulled over
No,
because
they
you
just
pulled
pulled
over?
over. Just
Oh,
walking.
okay.
We didn't expect anybody to stop. You know, we're two guys. I guess they saw the nicer truck and figured it had to be us.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I told us about it. I didn't hitchhike.
You weren't even trying to.
I mean, we were glad for the ride.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
We
That would have been quite the trip if you had to walk
my
that whole
brother's
thing.
a large guy. I'm like, ain't nobody stopping.
Everyone always thinks that. No one's going to stop for me. No one's going to stop. They will. They will.
And as someone who picks them up, I should have had a different attitude about it.
Did you pick people up at that point in your life too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've always done that.
You've always? Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Someone asked how far to New Orleans? About 40 miles?
miles.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if we hadn't gone the wrong direction, we'd almost be there.
Just adds a little bit of excitement. Are you gonna be short on time as far as getting to work on time now?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
You're good? Alright.
Yeah, I don't have to be working too.
Alright. This type of jazz just gives a good vibe,
It does.
right?
Absolutely.
Like, just sets a nice, like, relaxing feel.
Yeah, it's so mellow.
Yeah.
It can be uplifting too, just depends on what you
Yeah, exactly. another one of these bridges.
Yep, they're extremely common. Since there's not as much land as people think.
Yeah. Another bridge, guys. I bet the bugs are killer in these areas.
Yes. And by killer, like, it's a really accurate term. Like, kill you. In fact, there's a show called Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
They did the anti-fly base.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came in 20 whatever plus days, 21 days or whatever.
And
Under that long bridge.
oh yeah. And
I mean, it was
bugs were,
like
yeah.
bugs like
Yeah.
where they're at. The mosquitoes were just atrocious.
Yeah. Which I hate that.
And you know you live in a rural environment when that show comes back.
The last people that drove me yesterday from Houston to Scott, they gave me like some 100% DEET. There was 98 point something percent DEET spray, so it's not good for you, but
You need it.
yeah.
Whenever you get places like that, there ain't no such thing as spray that works. I have some a device that sends out like electronic pulses, like for duck hunting and stuff, and you can put it on and that kind of burns.
What is it?
It's just a green contraption that it burns a gas,
Yeah.
and it also sends out electronic pulses
Oh,
that,
okay.
like shock waves. Probably gives you cancer.
Probably. So you get to pick cancer or get bit by like 30 million mosquitoes.
Right.
I'll take the
You'll
cancer
take the
in 40
cancer,
years,
dude,
yeah.
You sell your soul right there.
Yeah.
What's your favorite city so far that you've been to?
Ooh, I really like the feel of Boulder, Colorado. Everyone's just outside, having fun, being healthy, and you're around the mountains and stuff there too.
Right.
I'm not a huge like city person in general. I prefer like kind of towns to small cities. Like
Right.
huge cities, like they have everything, any kind of entertainment you want, they have them there. But I just prefer that kind of small town feel, like we were talking about with Lafayette and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
even though it's a city, like it still has that.
amazing international vibe too. It has
Yeah.
Festival International, and it's a lot of culture there.
Yeah. Any other that stood out? A lot of those towns down the west coast were really just, people were friendly, welcoming, curious what you're doing, of course, but with the camera and the big backpack and hitchhiking.
Right.
But I just got a good feel for them. Is there anything that stood out too much? People talk crap about every state as I go on chat and stuff like that. So I was like in Iowa, I got picked up by a viewer and like lives in Des Moines, and I did like a Des Moines walking tour and stuff like that. And I loved this city. I thought it was really nice. It was like clean, had a nice downtown, had some good restaurants, had some cool bars. Like all these places have something to offer, but everyone just talks crap about them. And like people were talking crap about Arkansas, and then my first day of hitchhiking in Arkansas, I ended up in Hot Springs, Arkansas, which is beautiful.
Right.
It's gorgeous. I feel like, yeah, there's nothing in Arkansas. Well, I tell you what, yes, there is things in Arkansas.
Nice.
I think the only state where I didn't find anything where I'm like, wow, this is really nice is Nebraska, but I didn't really give it a chance because I got a ride straight across Nebraska and we just stayed on the interstate.
So you saw cornfields.
I saw cornfields, yeah. I saw grazing fields, I saw cornfields, maybe a couple other crops, but I saw fields.
Right.
With that said, that's not giving it much of an opportunity.
Right.
I'm sure there's stuff in Nebraska that I would find interesting and worthwhile, but I didn't stop. Yeah. Like, yeah, Nebraska was flat. Wasn't much going on. Yes, just putting you closer to the air vent. It's getting a little toasty.
Hot?
Oh, the phone gets hot.
Oh, I got you.
Well, the battery's charging it and it's live streaming. It's.
You can plug your stuff in. I mean, it works. I don't know if that helps you or not.
Yeah, I guess I should do that. Might as well. I'm not trying for my Switch. Let's see. This fan.
You put it on the camera.
Yeah, I don't need it. It's the camera that needs it.
That's the city. You see the shadow.
There we go. That's cool. Power lines running through the ocean.
That's a big Pontchartrain.
Oh, lake. Okay. What's the speed on 70?
Yeah. We were going about 85 prior to that. So.
Perfect. I just had random fences for like 20 meters.
It's stop people from throwing stuff off the side from like deeper water.
It just seems strange that it's just like one
just
like 40-foot section.
Basically, it was a dump hole that people were utilizing to prevent people from doing that.
Okay. Now, this is a real hitchhike, not a Twitch hike, guys. I live stream on a website called Twitch TV, and when viewers pick me up, we call that Twitch hiking, not hitchhiking. And when like people just with my thumb out decide to pick me up, that's hitchhiking. Last major place we passed was Baton Rouge. We've passed some small towns since then, but I don't know.
What's that?
Someone asked kind of where we were, like what was the last place we passed.
We're about to enter into Metairie, Louisiana.
Okay. Cool. That's funny. How a cop driving through limits everyone's speed. Like people are like passing and everything like that. And they're like, wait, never mind, I don't want to pass the cop. So they'll like slow down, merge behind him, and everyone does that. So then, yeah. Awesome. Tell me when we're kind of getting close to your place, and then I'll turn off the screen just so people can't see where we're going. Don't want to give away your location. It's the internet. I trust random people driving past me more than I trust the internet. I do love you guys, though. I don't trust you.
I live in New Orleans, brother.
That's true, yeah.
They can bring you're already there.
Yeah. Out of the swamps, kind of. Is it still swampy land here? Or this is real?
All the way around the city.
Oh, okay.
The city is just an inhabited swamp, is all it is. They actually, first inhabitants just drove just millions and millions of holes into the ground in order to make land.
Oh.
That's why the city continues to drop.
And yeah, isn't a lot of the city below sea level actually? They've just got like, yeah.
Around 6 feet below sea level.
Wow. Which is why I think like the levees kind of had a problem with Katrina and stuff,
exactly.
And then yeah.
Like a toilet bowl. Break any of that and it fills up.
Yeah.
top of that, the Mississippi River comes through the middle of the city.
Why is the city here?
Because the port was the port for the entire country, the capital of the country for a short period of time. Everything that came up the Mississippi River, this was the port of trade.
That makes sense. That's your kind of town, Netherlands. That makes sense. Someone from the Netherlands just spoke up. They're kind of the same as here.
Jazz was born with that very way. There was very large French influence, so you had all the brass, the horns,
yeah,
and the music, but in the background they had the slave ships, and it was like a boom, 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 and then you get the boom, 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 boom. That's how jazz was born.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. I learned something new, so didn't know that.
Basically African/French.
Now, of all the good food around here, do you have a favorite type of food? Or, again, tough to pick
meat,
one.
Man, I'm a meat guy. So,
yeah?
And I guess because my wife's from Brazil, I'm a little bit biased, but I like Brazilian steakhouses.
You're in Louisiana and you like the Brazilian food.
Yeah, I like Brazilian steakhouses.
You're betraying your state folk.
I find that Lafayette has better food than New Orleans.
Yeah?
It's too commercial here. It's too touristy. Bland it down.
Yeah. People told me, like, they said the best place to get boudin? Boudin, that's it. Around Scott, there's like some place.
Yeah, it's called Billy's. It's very popular.
Yeah. So we got some boudin, and that was good.
Just rice dressing and a casing, a sausage almost.
Yeah. They always make fun of me because I mispronounce things. They're like, boudin. Boudin. Gotta get that boudin.
Some booty.
Yeah.
Did you try cracklins?
They gave me a free sample there. It's actually I should show you the last people that picked me up. They were in full clown outfits.
Okay.
And we walked into that place with two people in full clown outfits and me with a camera and stuff like that. And they're like,
so you got free cracklin.
Yeah. I think because the camera, they're like, yeah, try this for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tell everybody how good it is.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get that up. Don't want to distract you from driving too much, but that's...
Whoa.
See,
you got in the car?
No, they stream on the live stream format that I'm on, and they were in Houston, and they're like, hey, we should
put our mask on
and like do a stream together. So they drove me from Houston all the way to Scott in full gear, as they call it, and super nice guys, but interesting attire. Yeah. Oh, and there's that rain. anyone gonna be home when you are getting ready, or is anyone gonna be home when we stop by your place?
No.
No. Okay.
My wife and kids are at school.
How late does school go in the year here? Because we had back in Texas, they were like they were finishing like this week or something like that.
Yeah. Well, our kids go to the type of school where they have this like a school/daycare kind of situation.
Okay.
He's going to the international school in Louisiana starting in August. And right now it's just Tulane daycare/school.
Oh, okay.
It basically just prepares them for the entry test into some of the schools.
Yeah. Would they entry tests because they're like 3 and 5, right? You said.
Well, it's entry test because if you want your kids to go to these charter schools or like some of the elite schools.
Yeah. But what age do they first make them take entry tests to get into schools?
4.
Really? At 4, they're already testing you to make sure if you're fit for the school.
And my kid didn't get into one that we were looking at because he supposedly refused to take one section, so he got a 0. He got perfect scores and everything else. He got a 0 in that section.
He refused to.
Supposedly, I mean, they're not allowed to be there when during the test.
Yeah.
Because they can do whatever the hell they want. It's crazy. Entry test for 4-year-olds.
Yeah, that sounds like at 4. They're still totally developing. Like they're still a blank slate almost.
Right.
They can be formed in.
Like his teachers are super pissed because my kid's. I know I'm biased, but my kid's right.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can my kid? He's super competitive. He would refuse to take anything. But that's what happens, supposedly. Has lots of culture and it's beautiful, but it also you can't walk half a mile without having to cross one bad section.
Really?
Yeah, you can't. It's like pockets. So I wouldn't recommend it. You take the stuff through to get to downtown, see me around.
Yeah. Now what I might do
I'll show you like this area right here is just fine, but you like one block, you'll see, then until you get to my neighborhood, you're like, oh.
Got that. Yeah, I think if I stay here, I'll probably end up.
There's a tent city for homeless people right by my work. You can stay there and get rugged.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I don't fit in with the.
Yeah, you wouldn't at all.
With the typical people camping out.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. So like if I'm gonna spend the day here, I'm probably just gonna like bite the bullet and pay for like a motel that's reasonable. Drop off my big bag somewhere or at the motel. Right. Walk around the city a bit, and then probably take like either public transportation or take an Uber back.
There's tons of public transportation in this city. I mean, there's trolleys and RTA buses. This block is fine. Very next there's a spider meat market coming up, and like there's all
right around there. Yeah.
Pretty much watch a drug transaction happen. They pass by. Parts of the city that haven't completely recovered from the hurricane, so they're still
really.
If I get my neighborhood, everything in new construction has to be substantially off the ground. You can't even build anything on the ground anymore. Because you can't insure it, so you're not going to be able to finance a house if you can't insure it.
Yeah.
all these houses were pretty much up to their rooftop in water.
Wow.
So it got redid.
Oh yeah, yeah, they
They're
are.
gonna be
All of them are
It's either
lifted
gonna
up.
be a new
Yeah,
construction that's several feet off the ground, or it's gonna be an old on the slab that got redid.
yeah, yeah. All of these are lifted off the ground. That's interesting. So when you say it was up to like the rooftops, like that's the
Yeah, the
water
flood-
level.
The water level.
Yeah, is
top of the
if the
windows
yeah.
in this area. Levees failed in this area. In fact, since I've been here, about 8 months ago, we had a pretty bad flooding situation that was in everybody, starting to get in everybody's houses.
Really?
Not mine. Mine's substantially higher than these.
Yeah.
But for my neighbors and stuff.
But yeah, these are the first bike lanes I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that area. Like Lane. There's a city park right there. There's a real big park around where the Jazz Fest is and all the
Yeah.
concerts and stuff. My house is the one up there.
Oh, okay. I'm going to spin you around. All right. Just hang out here, or? Oh, okay. I should be okay. Oh yeah, but. Okay. Are you still getting audio feedback, or are we okay? Sorry, just when I was getting out and stuff, I put my jetpack and stuff closer to the to my streaming device, and then you get that audio feedback sometimes. Audio good? Perfect. And I'll turn the camera back on in 1 second. Just waiting to get inside, and then you can see again. As much as he said he didn't care about you guys seeing his house, I don't want you to see his house. The outside, at least. No, this is not a viewer. This is just a random guy that picked me up on the side of the road in Lafayette. We wanted to bake him cookies? then I don't know, maybe I'll have like contact info and I'll like, through me, you can do the cookies. Alright. Oh, air conditioning.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Shoes on or shoes off, house?
There's a plug-in sphere,
Okay.
whiskey and beer, however you want.
Whiskey and beer. Thank you. Just plugging you guys back into. I wonder what the wife will say when she finds out a stranger came home with the husband. Apparently he picks up a lot of people all the time, so I'm sure she's kind of used to it. Another one of those Canadians in the house again. Little audio stuff. Yeah. Alright, let's get this. This is my internet setup, so let's just set that aside. Yeah, we're in New Orleans now. New Orleans. Is that how I'm supposed to pronounce it? You don't say New Orleans, New Orleans, or something. Or do you do it in one, like New Orleans? New Orleans. He's literally a police officer, or he was a police officer. I think I'm okay. I did say he was a fan of whiskey. I'm not going to have any. I'm just curious what he has. Gentleman Jack. Jim Beam. Praline. I don't know my whiskey. So is Dexter. You do know Dexter is a work of fiction, right? It's not a biography. It's actually a work of fiction. Alright, but I think like New Orleans is supposed to be a cool city. I don't think it'd be good for camping. What I might do is look up a place that's reasonable cost-wise. Drop off my bag there, because carrying that bag in this humidity is killer. And then do a little bit of a New Orleans walking tour. Eat some crawfish. Try to have as much authentic food as I can. And just walk around a little bit during the day and then not at night. So. Are you liking streaming while hitchhiking? It has made this become my favorite hitchhiking trip in my life, which is saying something, and I've been on a lot of trips. Every great fiction has some truth to it. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a whole lot of truth. Are we buzzing again? I'll probably be, I'm not too concerned about batteries right now because I'm not going to be camping in New Orleans. Do you know any French? Like a couple words. Are we still getting weird feedback? Okay, I'll try and put this somewhere further. I apologize, people. Need to write a book about hitching at some point, dude. Maybe I will. Well, twitchy buzz is not bad. It has to do with my receiving signal, so. Don't change the buzzing. It's not the Wi-Fi box. Oh, it's just some kind of interference here. I can move to a different part of the room. I don't really want to sit. There's a nice rug. I don't want to walk on that too much. Maybe this end of the table. Sometimes it's just like a really small area that has like a weird kind of frequency and, you know. People are saying it's not my connection. It's a tolerable buzzing. Didn't help. Well, we can do this then. Now there shouldn't be any buzzing. This is my microphone. But yeah, I think this is a city worth checking out, so I think I'm going to find an inexpensive place to just post up for the night, put my bag, and then check it out. That works. That always works. The stock microphone doesn't pick up any feedback. This one does sometimes, but this blocks the wind. This is also directional. It blocks a lot of outside sound, so it depends on the situation. If we're not getting any feedback, this is better, especially if we're outside and it's windy and it's all that. Is that Rode? Yes, it is. Rode, why would you make a microphone that's supposed to be physically attached to a cell phone, which by default has network running through it, unshielded? Why is this unshielded? You didn't think it would be a smart idea to like make it shielded from network interference? I think that would be a smart idea. I'll buy it. You pay extra. I'd pay extra for shielding. They don't make this microphone shielded. If someone can link me, a microphone that attaches very easily to a phone and is shielded, I will buy it. I don't know what product to buy. Like, if there's a product, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I don't mind spending some money on stuff that makes the stream. Like audio, I think is very important. Video, we can do standard definition. I think it's tolerable. Correct me if I'm wrong. You could probably shield it, like wrap it in aluminum foil. But yeah, put tin foil on your laptop when it gets a virus. I wonder if we wrapped it in foil, if that would actually help. How long are you hitchhiking in America for? Till I hitchhike through all 50 states. Except for the ones where it's illegal, then I'm hitchhiking through those states. He's taking a shower and getting changed for work. It's absolutely intolerable. Only been watching since day 25 or something. Still, there's always room for improvement. Aluminum isn't a shield? I don't know. Could block something. I'll probably be getting a shower tonight anyway, because I'm not going to camp in New Orleans. Because everyone's told me that, like, most of the time people are like, you can't do that here, you can't do that here, and usually you can. But everyone the whole time since the start of this trip is like, you shouldn't do that in New Orleans, so I probably won't. Where is it illegal? It's illegal in Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Delaware, and New Jersey. Get an unobtainium shield. That would probably do it. I wonder how much that would cost. They brought it all the way over from whatever that planet is called. Yeah, if aluminum works against aliens, then it should work against network interference. Just say New Orleans like a Canadian. You can't say New Orleans. New Orleans. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it also sounds better if you say your whole sentence in like, you know, that like southern drawl. Then it kind of like blends together. If I'm like talking like a Canadian, then I'm like, New Orleans. Whose house are you in? I'm in the house of the guy that drove me here from Lafayette. Lafayette? Whatever. That place. Working harder than the clown laugh? Oh, that was bad. That was bad. Can't camp in the USA, but thousands of homeless people. Do I blend in with homeless people? Does my gear look like I blend in with homeless people? I actually have good camping gear. Not to say that no homeless people do have good camping gear. I'm a target. My camping situation, what I do with camping is I get tucked away, someplace where ideally no one will see you. And then I camp just at night, and then first thing in the morning I take down my tent before anyone notices I was there. I don't just like sleep on the street. That's not my camping. I know such little French population, but lived in Canada. Have you been to British Columbia? It's literally called British Columbia. It's the most English part of Canada. Go there and see how many people speak French. Lafayette. Nice room for the tent. Yeah, we're just gonna set up our tent right here. Or I could get a motel room and set up my tent in the motel room like I did last time. You live in Ontario? Yeah, Ontario is right next to Quebec, and the people I know that went to school in Ontario did a lot more schooling, or learned a lot more French than we did in our school. You know lots of words and can pronounce things well. I'm proud of you. New Brunswick is officially bilingual. I have heard that as well, yeah. And then there's the Acadian region, which just no one can understand. It's like a mishmash of English and French. French people can't understand them. English people can't understand them. It's just, no one knows what they're doing. From Newfoundland, don't speak a lick of French. From Newfoundland. Newfoundland is my second favorite province. You live in a cool, or you said you're from. I'm not sure if you're still there, but I love Newfoundland. Don't tell him you're in Ontario and he doesn't like us. I just like to make fun of Ontario. Every time I get a motel, you guys gonna make me set up my tent? I did last time. Oh, you're all geared up.
All geared up. For some coffee.
So your whole outfit now is that this private company private security, or is it?
Yeah,
still...
it's within the hospital, so it's
Okay.
technically private.
Yeah.
The reason they are all structured like this is because the entire system was state police,
Yeah.
and then when they privatized it, they just transformed it over to the private organization, but they kept the police model in place.
Just because like it looks official and it's got like,
I deal with more shit in this than I ever would have done in real life.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what do you deal with on a day-to-day basis?
I mean, we're the only level 1 trauma center in the area. Like, and by area,
level 1
I mean,
trauma. Okay,
like basically from Texas to Alabama.
Yeah.
So every gunshot, every stabbing, we get drive-up GSWs constantly.
Yeah.
You can secure the vehicle, protect the family, make sure that, it's a lot to deal with because we're centrally located right in the heart of downtown New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, we have a homeless community basically on our doorstep.
Yeah.
And, I made 3 arrests last week. I didn't make 3 arrests a week in law enforcement. I would offer you some coffee. This is a social experiment because my wife, somehow we were out of coffee, so I'm brewing dehydrated coffee, if that works. I don't know. We'll find out.
Brewing dehydrated coffee?
Yeah, like I thought it so kind of thing. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Like the one you're supposed to have to mix with hot water?
Instant coffee.
Yeah, right. Whatever this shit is.
Oh.
So that's
But you're brewing
freeze-dried coffee. So I'm like, I don't know. Let's just hope the caffeine comes out of this shit.
Do they have like a standard issue gun that they issue, or do you pick your weapon that you carry on you?
Most of the people got issued a gun because they've been there for a while, but I already had my own, so I just definitely.
And what is it?
It's a Glock 40.
Glock 40.
You'll be in downtown New Orleans in about 5 minutes.
Oh, we're just 5 minutes from downtown?
Yeah, 3 miles.
Oh, awesome.
You're good? You want any water, beer, nothing?
I think I'm good.
The problem's not the distance for you to travel, it's just what area you have to go through to get there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a backpack by the time you got there.
Yeah, I'd like to keep that. Albeit, if someone came up to me with a gun and they're like, I'm not going to fight them on that.
Right.
I can replace my backpack. I can't replace my life. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I've watched countless videos of the guy, and you're like, oh, this guy was super cool because he kept his backpack, like he ran away. The reality of the situation, if you watch the video carefully, the guy pulled the trigger to kill him and it jammed.
Yeah.
He's not cool. He's just lucky.
Yeah.
Looks like water.
Look, yeah, it's not water coming out. It looks like coffee.
I mean, if you can add hot water and then turn it into coffee, that's pretty much what I'm doing here. So
Yeah. Just brewing instant coffee. Like, do you usually have like proper coffee grounds, or you just?
Oh yeah, see the thing is we drink Brazilian coffee and Colombian coffee.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law brings it when she comes, obviously we're out. She's
Oh,
about
okay.
to make another trip, so
Yeah.
makes sense, but
Well, how much do you bring? Like when you come back from
Bring,
Brazil,
like,
you just
10
bring like
bags.
huge
Oh, yeah,
bags
like,
full
for
of.
real, and that's
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
It's enough to last us 6 months or so, drinking coffee every day.
Yeah. Oh. Comrade Paul, thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the Twitch Hackers. Appreciate the support. Thank you.
All right, so if you end up getting mugged or end up in the Hooskow, you can give me a call.
Hey, I appreciate that. Wait, what was the? It's like mugged or end up in?
The Hooskow?
Hooskow.
It's like a cowboy jail.
Oh, okay. All right, this will be my. You get one call. This will be my call. Free showers, killer clowns protecting you, and get out of jail free card. That is what hitchhiking is on a day-to-day basis. You got your clowns, you got your get out of jail free cards. It all happens. And I'm gonna give him a card, don't worry. Are you gonna go in NOLA? I don't know. I'm gonna get dropped off, and I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do from there. Yeah, I'm gonna drop off my stuff somewhere. I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna stay, because I'm not gonna camp in this town, this city. Figure out where I'm staying, drop my stuff off, then check out the city. You should make business cards, Trevor? Oh, should I? I already have. Trevor Denelick Hitchhiker. Didn't expect that, did you? Do a media share stream. I don't even know what that means. I've never live streamed before the start of this trip, which was Hitchhiking America Day 1. So I've been live streaming for 42 days, and I've taken, I think, 4 days off, maybe 5 days off. He is ex-law enforcement.
Hi, my friend. We're ready.
We're ready. Have you tried it?
What?
The coffee?
No, not yet.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to give me the review
I'll give you a rundown.
of the instant coffee.
I might be
brewed.
inventing something that's very good here. Or it might taste like total shit.
Oh yeah. We're not showing you the address. I know you don't care, but I still don't trust these guys.
Fair enough.
I got my stuff, guys. I got my antenna. Well, the stream would already have cut out right now. It just emits a Wi-Fi signal, and if I walk pretty far away, it just disappears. Squeak.
I did open it. Shit. I did press that button.
Oh, you opened the garage?
My gate.
Oh, the gate. Oh, that's cool.
You can't really park on the street overnight in this area if you want to keep a vehicle very long. Tastes like coffee.
Yeah?
Not bad.
Nice. Discovered a new
Shit. Great job.
way to do things. Yeah.
This is actually the levee system that failed in this area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright. You guys can come back now. Like these are here?
So you can see how much lower the city is compared to the water.
Oh, yeah. Huh. And do you know like a cheap but clean motel in the decent area?
I mean, they got. I mean, if you going totally frugal, they got the shelter right there that would easily take you in for. And if you just need a place to crash, you see. But other than that, it's a touristy area.
So it's gonna cost you.
Yeah, it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
I think there's a place called like the Odyssey House or something. It's like $10 a night.
$10 a night. It was like a hostel kind of system.
Yeah, it's like a. I wouldn't say homeless community, but it's like for people who are struggling.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has some sort of funding from either a private entity or government or something.
Yeah. I've stayed in a few like homeless shelters in my time with hitchhiking, but
Not the preferable route.
yeah. Depends what you're looking for. Maybe it wouldn't be too crazy on a Monday night. It is Monday, right?
Well, I mean, like these don't let you can't. For example, if you're intoxicated or anything like that, you can't get in. It's all security and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's why the homeless people don't use them.
Oh.
Like, you can go to homeless shelter. No. Why the hell would I get that? Can't do my drug of choice. Can't drink.
Oh, I can. Oh, I could.
That's why they live in Tent City instead. They literally live to, what, I don't know, 100 yards from a homeless shelter.
But they
Live on the
hang out
streets because they can't do
yeah.
their drug of choice and drink.
Huh. Maybe that. I wonder if they'd let me film. That could be interesting. Probably not.
Probably so.
You think they'd let me
Daytime,
film? Yeah.
it's safe in the daytime. They think we're crazy. They look at me going to work every day. It's like, no. And we have one that comes to, like, he uses the hospital like basically like a hotel. And his family is wealthy, and they've tried to get him off the street several times, and it's not the life he wants. He thinks I'm stupid for going to work every day.
Is the homeless shelter near where you're dropping me off?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might actually just check it out and talk to them, interview the people about the shelter, just because I'm curious about what it's like here.
Sure.
I've been to a few in my time, but I'm curious what it's like.
Like literally, we're gonna exit, and there's Tent City, and like it's adjacent to our parking lot at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because they use our hospital as a hotel most of the time. And then the homeless shelter is behind the church, which is across the street.
So how does that work? Like
You can check in
hospitals
as-
are private, and those
People
help
think
you.
that, but that's not the case in America. People think
Okay.
that poor people don't have health care, and it's completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Every single, we have an individual who's checked in over 400 times in 1 year,
Yeah.
and he uses it as a hotel. You cannot deny service, period. He literally checks in and says, my butt stinks. And that's his reason for checking in. You cannot die. They have to be at least medically evaluated by a physician or physician's assistant.
Yeah. Huh.
And they can walk out the door and turn around and say, I want to check in for a completely different issue, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow. That's a drain on the system. That's
yes,
probably why everyone else pays a ton.
It's exactly why.
Yeah.
There's a law called EMTALA, and it's basically for patients' rights for the impoverished.
Yeah.
You can't deny service ever.
Which is
The
good.
only way we can kick somebody off our property is if they actively admit that they're not seeking medical attention. And then they could get to the boundary, and as soon as we got there, they say they need to see a doctor. We got to turn right back around and escort them right back in.
That's crazy.
And it's completely free. They don't even have to provide a name. So how could you bill somebody?
Like, shouldn't anyone that doesn't have medical insurance when they go there just go without their ID and be like, I need...
Thank God not everybody knows that. And if you stay there for several days, we will try and identify you, but there's no law that says you have to. And the worst case scenario is that even if they know who you are, if you don't care about your credit, what can they do?
That's true, yeah.
And let's just say most homeless people don't care about their credit.
Yeah, I'd assume that would be the case. I care about my credit because I use the credit card stuff to get free flights around the world. But...
If not...
yeah. People are like, Lee, we'll tweet that out now. Thanks, Trevor. The secret is out. There's the city.
That white bubble you see is the Superdome.
Oh, Superdome.
That bridge is the furthest part of downtown. So you want to basically go all the way to the water if you want to go to the water down. Canal Street is where I'm going to be dropping you off. Canal Street takes you straight to where you want to be.
Okay.
If you take a left on Bourbon,
Yeah.
which is the one that you wanted to look at anyway, it'll take you